Greetings, Voyager, and welcome to your retreat away from the harsh realities and burdens of life. In this liminal experience, you will not only be exploring impossible spaces, but also witness feelings produced unlike anything else ever seen. You will be set on a voyage into reality, bending hallways and uncanny passages, to relive the slivers of memories from your youth and from your subconscious. Be wary of anything seeming too anomalous in nature, and avoid any uncertain being.
What is up, my Liminal Lusters, and welcome to the full release of Liminal Voyager. I'm only like 3 months late. My excuse is that I somewhat went all out on this video. That intro took me a little too long to make. Shout out to Godzilla Q1Q, who commented on the last video on how I foolishly missed some levels in my last analysis, which is pretty embarrassing for me. Thank you. Since many of the levels are unchanged from when I made the pre-release video, I want to have a new take on the game, maybe one a little more serious. Hotel 1 is where you start your journey. This area looks like a 1950s dining hall. Red carpet, patterned brownish walls, and wood beams. Dining tables litter the place, and yet not a scrap of food or people to be seen. The caretaker is playing on an old radio. You could say this is a burning memory. Fields is like a peaceful, warm evening from the good old days when nothing mattered, with grassy hills and towering windmills. This level is pretty obviously inspired by that popular Dreamcore image. There are 2 routes to go, but for now, we will go into the not at all ominous giant black rectangle. Neighborhood shows us why we need to stop reproducing. Those liminal space images with infinite suburban neighborhoods are very similar to this level. Also, there is a random energy tower in the middle of this circle of houses. Very eerie. White Anomaly is definitely the whitest level. You kinda just walk to the exit, which is a huge drop-off. Finally, a new level. Sand is a level with, you guessed it, cell phone poles. You walk in this white wasteland until you find a monolith mirror thing, and when you get close, it takes you. Now, despite the description of this game stating that it has no affiliation with the back rooms, it does contain the pool rooms, or something very similar. The older version just had straight up pool rooms, but this is the sunrooms, and you better not confuse it. Anyway, this level is a sunny version of the it's a sunny level laid out with bathroom tiles, water, and very weird architecture. This is probably what rich people's baths look like. There are pool rings left in this level for your enjoyment, and at the end, you walk up this tile staircase that not only has no rails, but is made of possibly wet tile. OSHA's gonna be so pissed. Winter Cave has you starting in a dark cave. Shortly after, you find out it's winter and realize why this level is named what it is. You're in a snowy forest with dim lanterns and a covered up snowy road. You find another cave, which takes you elsewhere. Arches is a wacky throwback to Fields, but there's an insane twist. There's arches instead of windmills. It's a cool visual and gives you a good dose of megalophobia. Gardens is less like a garden and more like, I don't know what this is like. There's a big stone tower and flower pots that hang from nothing. The string they hang from extends infinitely to the sky. Storage units is a level about storage units. Not really much to say about this one.
What's your profanity? Right, I'm sorry.
Convenience store is a perfect representation of what it feels like to walk into a gas station at 2 a.m. The blue lights illuminating the store, the soft rain and music, and hey, why are there no snacks? Must be a shell. Also, this level has a full moon, which gives extra points in my book. Bridge is very similar to level 188 of the Backrooms, or that one hotel if you want to be more specific. You walk on a wood platform with darkness all around you. The only light comes from the rooms behind the many windows surrounding you as you traverse. There's a horrific screaming sound. You end your suffering by committing jump off the ledge. This level is just Hotline Miami subway. Blue Line is a very short level that looks like a neon subway from the 80s. Level Towards the Sun is a level where you try not to look away from the blinding light on your screen. You walk between glowing white pillars in a black abyss, and, as the name suggests, you go towards the sun. Town is the weirdest town I've ever seen. They're small, colorful Minecraft houses with megaphones on the outside for your daily dose of inspiration. You then climb up the Metal Gear Solid 3 ladder. Apartment looks straight out of The Shining and contains what you would normally see in a hotel. Beds, doors, crappy lights, and an ugly carpet. In the break room area, there's a lever, and when it's pulled, City is my least favorite level. It takes place in a dark city with tall buildings and grass. I feel like I'm gonna get robbed. That's all I have to say. Mountains is a new level. You spawn in a lone house in the middle of a completely flat field. You walk to some weirdly shaped mountains. Pillars is probably what it was like being in Chernobyl. Toxic gas slowly descends upon you, and you have to hurry and get out. You can either press the beeping buttons and take the door, or go the other way. For now, we will go the door route. Level healing is kinda like the pool rooms, but without the pool. You climb a bunch of floating staircases made of white bathroom tile. This level is confusing and pisses me off. I walked through this whole section and wasted 40 whole seconds of my life. And that's the first ending. I would call this the main ending, considering you would go the most obvious routes. Now we go back to level Fields. Back here, instead of going to the scary black monolith, go right into the cave to enter the path I call Route B. Oh, how I love ominous clocks. Set of Decaying Gleanings Part 1 is what it feels like to traverse your grandparents' house at night. The pitch blackness and loud clock sounds give me a certain anxiety, like turning off the lights and running up the stairs fast enough to escape the demons downstairs. Luckily, you find the RGB gamer lamp, and that quells the very loud passage of time for some reason. Level Turn Back is like vibing in the mall way past closing time. A jazz band plays in the distance, and red light fills the room. I wouldn't mind staying here, except for the twitching shadow thing. Do not go to the left exit. It brings you to level Fields. Instead, go right. Sunny Euphoria is a very small suburban neighborhood. There's like 6 houses and a double dead-end road. The houses overlook a large drop-off, which would absolutely slap for sledding in the winter. This level has a yellowish orangish filter, giving it a very nostalgic feel. It also feels like Breaking Bad. And the music is so damn loud. On your way down the hill, you find a tire swing, which I think confirms this level is supposed to be nostalgic, if you couldn't already tell. A scarecrow sits in the middle of the grass field. Gotta make sure the birds don't get in the grass, I guess. Red text pops up, stating, "Come back again soon," which I would rather not do. Mostly to save my inner ear from sustaining more damage. Level alone starts with this banging track, in red text again that says, "You had the option to turn back. Now, you would no longer be alone." Which is an interesting statement, considering I have no idea what that means. This level is littered with the dream core mushrooms. I have no idea where these originally came from, but many Roblox games have them. They probably taste awful. You walk along a path made of those souvenir rocks you get at like a gas station or something, until you get to the exit. Level One Day in the Clouds gives you 60 seconds to finish it. You run between houses and cut through people's lawns. This kinda looks like heaven. There's Dreamcore angels, which are pretty biblically accurate. So yeah, it seems like we're trampling on heavenly angels' yards. Angels'? You know, I thought heaven would have gold mansions and roads, and be filled with lots of good food. But a liminal suburban neighborhood is fine too. Once again, this level is just straight up a backrooms level, even though apparently this game isn't associated with the backrooms. I know that the pool rooms originated from some guy's art, but the idea of traversing through this level while it being connected to other liminal spaces, it is definitely somewhat at least a little inspired by the backrooms. Anyway, yup, it's the pool rooms again, but a little more lore accurate. There's this very tall chair for what I assume is a very tall man. You walk into a lower level, which looks like a nightclub version of the pool rooms. Then, all of a sudden, the loud clock from the Gleanings level ruins the vibe and shuts off all the lights. This could be considered a jump scare in this game, since there really aren't any. And it's really good when you first play it. I guess I just spoiled it. The level after the pool rooms is where two routes converge, so I will instead just talk about the final route since they both lead here. So, back on level pillars, instead of going the door route, go the non-door route, aka the long ominous platform going to the darkness. This level starts off with some weird bassy music in a dingy grocery store. There's moss or black mold on the walls. This wall has RGB gamer paint.
Why, hello there. Would you care to see my RGB lighting? I spent $3,000. Sir, this is a Wendy's. Oh.
I know that paint wasn't cheap. It looks too epic not to get. Here's a random spot you can fall off the map. I'm not sure if this is intentional or not. If this game were a plot pyramid, this level would be the first half of the climax. You start off in what looks like Set of Decaying Gleanings Part 1, a dark area within the white drywall and brown carpet of a house. Once you walk out, the walls stretch high up and an ominous sound plays. The bottom of the screen tells you what you need to know. If it's close, turn back. If it's far, do not stop running. Listen at all times. Once you enter the exit, the game begins. Here's how to get through. In the room with the tan carpet, go to the next area that's open, and when you get to the green room, continue to go left. When you hear whatever creature makes this horrible sound, go to the nearest exit and wait a few seconds, and go back. Repeat until the sound is gone. This can take way too many tries. He camped my ass so bad here. I swear, it took like 7 whole minutes to get past. Keep going left in the green room until you find the large opening. This level was actually in the pre-release, but I somehow didn't find it. If there's some deeper meaning behind that last level, or even this whole game, I'm not sure what it is. The combination of time ticking away, the appearance of the black figure again, and stressful sound is very jarring just to be thrown into. That level is what I assume it would probably look like if you were having a live lobotomy. And that's it. That's the whole game. Your character finds some sort of greenhouse, and then it ends. I want to start crafting theories on these niche games, but for this one I can't really think of anything. I'm not sure if this game has any deeper meaning. You probably wouldn't expect a liminal space walking simulator to have a deep, hidden story, but there seems to be something here. Comment what you think this game is really about. Here's a very professional map I created, in case you want to know the layout of the game. There is a classic mode, but to unlock it, you need the badge Camaraderie, which requires you to beat the game with 8 people, so that's off the table. If you enjoyed this video then, consider sending it to your boss,